Black American actors aren't given those same opportunities. And I don't know why or what that is, because you can't say that British actors can do a good American accent, so they should play American. Because if I tell you to do Southern and you go, hey, y'all, I'm in the South, it's not a Southern accent. What part of the South you went to?
So I know you and Sam are both avid golfers. So how much golf did y'all play when y'all were filming this?
You know what? I was working so much. We only played once. I have a vendetta. Sam is a very mean person. Sam is a bully. So the first time I worked with Sam, I was like, yo, Sam Jackson, how's it going, man? Anthony Mackie. So by the second week, I see him like outside his trailer swinging his golf club. So, I want to talk to Sam Jackson. So I'm like, oh man, I play golf. He's like, oh, well, we should play. I'm like, all right. So we go out to the golf course, we go play golf. And he's like, the best way to learn golf is to bet. I'm like, all right, you can't be that good. You old, I got you. I'm like, I can throw the ball further than you can hit it. Man, he took my per diem for a week. And ever since then, I was like, I'm gonna get good enough. My whole goal in playing golf is to one day beat Sam Jackson. I don't care if he's 90 years old. I'm gonna take him down. I haven't beaten him yet because he's really good. And he got a lot of my money in his pocket.
Because I was gonna say, like, I mean, you're no slouch.
No.
At least, based off of what I've read, like you play a lot.
Yeah, I play a lot.
So I'm like, how good is Sam Jackson then?
So Sam is like, he's like a old lady. And everybody who plays golf know an old lady can only hit the ball 100 yards, but every time it's exactly where she wants to put it. Whereas when I play, I try to hit the ball 3,000 yards and it ends up in the trees or in the bushes. So my recovery game is crazy. But Sam, this dude, man, he's a scratch golfer. He'll lie and say he's not, but everybody who says they're like a 5 or 6 handicap, that means they're scratch.
Okay, so you running a small little game on you. I got you. One of the roles that you played in recently, or rather the movie was released recently, was Outside the Wire with Damson Idris, who I've also had as a guest on this podcast. Incredible dude. Like he's a lot of fun and really just sharp. There has been so much conversation, especially with the release of Judas and the Black Messiah, because Daniel Kaluuya is in that. Obviously, Damson is in Snowfall, a series that I certainly love and loved him when he played alongside you. There's been all this conversation about Black British actors and them being looked at more favorably in Hollywood, and there being some kind of tension between Black British actors and African Americans and the competition for roles. What's your perspective on that as somebody who is obviously a Black man who is American, and you went to Juilliard, right? Because I've heard some people say that, there's this perception that Black British actors are more refined and more highly trained. So you are somebody who could speak to all of this. So what's your perspective of this issue, if you will?
Well, it's not really a issue. I haven't really figured it out. I don't know exactly what it is or why. I would just like for it to be a requited playing field. If you do, a British movie, put some American brothers in it. It's and I think that's what the big beef is or battle is, if there even is a conversation of frustration or beef on the topic, is the fact that Black American actors aren't given those same opportunities. And I don't know why or what that is, because you can't say that British actors can do a good American accent, so they should play American. Because if I tell you to do Southern and you go, hey, y'all, I'm in the South, it's not a Southern accent. What part of the South you went to? If I tell you to do a New York accent and you try to sound like Denzel, it's not. And if I try to do a British accent, you're like, nah, that's not British. it's not requited. So you're allowed to do a bad American accent, but I can't do a bad British accent? That's crazy. So I think that's what the big frustration is, that it should be requited. When you do whatever that show is, all the girls are watching Bridgerton or whatever.
Oh, Bridgerton, yeah.
Yeah.
All the girls are watching.
All the girls are watching it. Every girl, Bridgerton. So if you do something like that, put a brother in there, put some, let a little bit of funk in there. Let me get in there and funk it up,
Well, do you think, because I know for a long time, African Americans have been cast as Africans, right? You had Denzel playing Stephen Biko, you had Forrest Whitaker playing Idi Amin. Yep. I guess I don't know this if Africans actually had a problem with that or not, because it seems like there was much of this conversation was generated specifically around Black British actors playing historical African American figures, because of Judas and the Black Messiah, because Cynthia Erivo playing Harriet Tubman, like that seemed to be, but I don't know. It feels like Black American actors, like y'all had y'all run and play these historical figures. Like the majority of Martin Luther King Jr.'s, outside of David Oyelowo, they all been Black Americans.
100%.
Paul Winfield, right?
Right.
Like I go back that far.
Hey, Paul Winfield is I played Martin Luther King, and the whole time I was like, man, I wish it was Paul Winfield playing Martin Luther King. When I was growing up, every year they play the Paul Winfield Martin Luther King, and my parents would make us sit down and watch it. And I literally thought he was Martin Luther King. Like, I thought it was a movie that they cast Martin Luther King as Martin Luther King. Like, he was that amazing in that role. But the thing is, and like I said, the frustration is, just to balance it out. I don't think it's a historical thing. I don't think it's the them coming taking roles thing. I think it's just what frustrates me what frustrated me about the whole conversation is when a certain director and producer said that Black American actors aren't trained and they don't work hard enough. And that's what got me. Because I'm like, if you look at Mahershala, if you look at, Chad, myself, if there's a slew of us from the best programs in the world.
Angela Bassett, I think she went to Yale, if I'm not mistaken.
A slew of us from the best programs in the world. So, there's an element of self-hate. There's an element of self-doubt that goes along with it. I think it's much bigger than, British actors taking roles or playing historic figures. I just think it's looked upon in a competitive way when there's no competition whatsoever.
I think you really got to the core of what I was frustrated about for the conversation, and obviously I'm not an actor, is that the aim and the fire seem to be at the wrong people, because it's not Daniel Kaluuya that has this idea that he's more classically trained than you. Right. It is some director, some decision maker who has decided that, because they're British, whatever. And I will say this, I do think British actors probably do a little bit better imitating us than the other way around.
Oh, no question.
Because they grow up watching us. That's why. Like you talk to them about, they grew up watching Boys in the Hood and all these, like, Dan talks about it. Like, he watched all the Black movies. So his accent, we don't grow up watching things like Bridgerton or some of the UK programming because it doesn't translate over here. Right.
Yeah.
So they got
none of my boys watch Bridgerton. I don't even know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know.
Now you know why the ladies are watching Bridgerton, right?
I guess because the I don't know. The story is nice. I don't know. It looks pretty. I don't know
a single episode of Bridgerton, but I am told that the sex scenes and also the main character, the brother that everybody loves, that's what I'm told. That's what in the streets. That's what they saying. So I have not watched the episode yet. So We will
So they
see.
just watching it to see this dude go buck wild.
Pretty much. That's what I've been told. I'm like, okay.
Definitely gonna skip that one.
Yeah, I got you. Before I get to the game that I play with all my guests, I know you're a big Saints fan, and I have seen the reaction from Saints fans. Drew Brees not too long ago posted a video. He's working out, everything. He has not said what he intends to do next year, whether or not he's coming back. As a Saints fan, how do you feel about the Drew Brees situation? Do you want him back? Do you not want him back? Where are you with this?
I think Drew has done his just due for the city of New Orleans. I think his legacy will be cemented forever as a Saint. His number will be retired. He'll have a parade.
So basically, get up out of here. Like, Drew, you was good, but I need you to get out of here.
Look, we'll have a whole second line. We'll bring some crawfish. We'll shut down Claiborne Avenue, and we'll make under the bridge Drew Brees Parkway. Everybody from New Orleans know what under the bridge is. We'll make under the bridge Drew Brees Parkway. But Deshaun Watson sitting out there looking real good.
And wants to come to New Orleans, allegedly, right? Like,
bro, I'll go pick him up. He can stay in my house. I'll train with him.
Him and Sean Payton, man, that is scary. That's a scary dude.
Can you imagine Sean Payton's system with Deshaun Watson at quarterback, Alvin Kamara in the backfield, Michael Thomas in the slant? There's nothing, in the slot, there's nothing you can do with that offense. All we got to do is get a halfway decent tight end. There's nothing you can do. We can bring Ben Watson back. Ben Watson, 700 years old. And if you need him, he'll come out of retirement and give you 5 catches, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns a game.
Look, I think you should be able to go out there and you could probably easily get 5 catches for about 47 yards and a touchdown every game.
Bro, you give me 4 months. Let me get back and fight and shake.
Okay.
I'm in it.